situation that's capturing the world's attention. The widespread public uprising in Peru, happening right now in October 2025. What started as localised protests has escalated into a nationwide movement, and we're here to break down the key factors driving this historic moment. To understand what's happening on the streets of Lima, Cusco and Arequipa, we need to look back at the events that set the stage for this massive public discontent. Over the past 2 years, Peru has been grappling with a severe economic downturn. The post-pandemic recovery, which many had hoped for, never fully materialised. Instead, the country was hit by a combination of global supply chain disruptions and a sharp decline in copper prices, a cornerstone of the Peruvian economy. This led to soaring inflation. The cost of basic necessities like food, fuel, and transportation skyrocketed, placing an immense burden on everyday families. For millions, the daily struggle to make ends meet became an almost impossible task. Imagine your grocery bill doubling in a matter of months while your wages stay the same. This was the reality for a vast portion of the Peruvian population. Compounding these economic hardships was a series of political scandals that eroded public trust to a breaking point. Allegations of corruption, reaching the highest levels of government, became a constant feature in the news cycle. We saw multiple cabinet reshuffles and legislative gridlock, which created a perception of a political class that was more interested in its own power struggles than in solving the country's pressing problems. The government's response to the economic crisis was widely seen as inadequate and out of touch. Emergency aid packages were criticised for being too little, too late, and poorly distributed, failing to reach many of the families who needed them most. This combination of economic pain and political disillusionment created a powder keg of public anger. The first sparks of the current movement appeared in early September. Small-scale protests, initially led by transportation unions and agricultural groups in the southern regions, began to pop up. They were protesting rising fuel costs and the lack of government support for farmers, hit by both inflation and changing weather patterns. What made this different was the way these disparate groups began to connect. Using social media platforms and community organising apps, they shared their grievances and coordinated their efforts. A protest by truckers in Arequipa would inspire a farmers' march in Cusco the next day. This digital era organising allowed the movement to grow organically and rapidly, bypassing traditional media and political structures. By the beginning of October, these scattered protests had coalesced into a unified national movement. A general strike was called, and the response was overwhelming. In Lima, the historic Plaza San Martin became the epicentre of the demonstrations, drawing hundreds of thousands of people from all walks of life. We're not just talking about students and activists. We're seeing teachers, doctors, small business owners, and families with their children marching side by side. Their demands are clear and unified: immediate economic relief, an end to government corruption, and a call for new leadership that genuinely represents the will of the people. The sheer scale and diversity of the crowds are unlike anything Peru has seen in decades. One of the most striking aspects of this uprising is its decentralised and leaderless nature. Unlike past movements that were often tied to specific political parties or charismatic figures, this one is a true grassroots phenomenon. People are organising through neighbourhood assemblies, university groups, and online forums. This makes the movement incredibly resilient. There's no single leader to arrest or negotiate with, which has presented a significant challenge interest groups, but El Pueblo, the people, united by a shared sense of frustration and a desire for fundamental change. This spirit of unity has been a powerful force, keeping the movement strong and focused. The government's reaction has been a mixed bag and a source of significant tension. Initially, they seemed to underestimate the scale of the public anger. Their response involved deploying a heavy police presence, which in some instances led to confrontations and clashes with protesters. While authorities have stated their intent is to maintain order, images of police using tear gas and batons against peaceful demonstrators have only fueled public outrage and drawn international condemnation. In recent days, the administration has attempted to open a dialogue, proposing new economic subsidies and promising investigations into the corruption allegations. However, for many on the streets, these promises are seen as too little, too late. The trust is broken, and protesters are demanding concrete actions, not just words. So, what happens next? That is the billion-dollar question. The situation remains incredibly fluid. There are several potential paths forward. One possibility is that the government accedes to some of the key demands, perhaps through a significant cabinet overhaul and the fast-tracking of robust economic relief programs. This could de-escalate the situation, at least temporarily. Another path involves continued escalation. If the protests maintain their momentum and the government fails to offer a satisfactory response, the calls for the president's resignation and early elections could become deafening, potentially triggering a constitutional crisis. A third, more hopeful scenario involves a genuine national dialogue where representatives from the protest movement and the government can come together to forge a new social contract for Peru. This would be the most challenging path, but also the one that offers the best hope for a stable and prosperous future. The international community is watching Peru very closely. Neighbouring South American countries have called for calm and a peaceful resolution through dialogue. Global human rights organisations are monitoring the situation, urging security forces to respect the right to peaceful protest. The economic implications are also significant. The instability has caused Peru's currency to weaken and has put a pause on foreign investment. The world understands that a stable and democratic Peru is crucial for regional stability and for global supply chains, especially concerning key minerals. How the international community chooses to engage in the coming days could play a significant role in the outcome. Regardless of what happens, October 2025 will be remembered as a pivotal moment in Peruvian history. It's a powerful demonstration of citizen power and a testament to the fact that when people feel their voices are not being heard, they will find a way to make them heard. The future of the nation is being decided right now, not in the halls of Congress, but on the streets and plazas by ordinary people demanding dignity, justice, and a better future. It's a complex and moving story, and we will continue to follow it closely and bring you updates as they happen. The resilience and unity of the Peruvian people during this time is truly remarkable. Thank you so much for joining me for this in-depth analysis. It's crucial that we all stay informed about what's happening around the world. If you found this video informative, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel for more content like this. And please, share your thoughts respectfully in the comments below. Stay safe, stay informed.